Just a few more steps forward, and Natalie would be on the verge of successfully graduating from the university, achieving her goal of embarking on an excavation trip to Egypt alongside Dr. Roy. Natalie had been lost for the past several years, while she had no idea where or how to start her major until she met Dr. Roy. Natalie was aiming to be an archaeologist researcher since she traveled to Egypt 2 years ago and visited the archaeological sites. Sometimes we find ourselves immersed in actions we had never thought about before. In the meantime, we follow our destiny leads us to reach our goals in life without any prior planning. However, we might go in deep thinking because we are taking a risk for things doesn't worth it. Natalie was an attractive, charming young lady, with her long red hair tied with a silver knot. Dr. Roy was very attracted to her, and while she was staring at him, he glanced at her briefly. They loved each other and had a lot in common, which caused an awesome relationship. Natalie's childhood was very sensitive, influencing her ability to fully trust and embrace the relationship with Dr. Roy. A few months later, Dr. Roy surprised Natalie with a big suggestion that she was very excited about. Natalie and Dr. Roy were busy digging at archaeological sites in Egypt, in the city where she was born. Dr. Roy fell into a deep sleep, but Natalie was too thirsty as they were out of water in the camp. She went out of the camp searching for drinking water, walking straight ahead for half an hour. She felt that her throat was so dry and wished she had a bottle of cold water. She searched for shade to protect herself from the scorching sun, but found only a small tree that provided little shade. Meanwhile, Dr. Roy was looking for her all around the place, but he found her nowhere. Suddenly, he met Riyadh, who was one of the team members working with them. They all assured him that they hadn't seen Natalie. They stated that there was no sign of her, only her footsteps noticed on the sand for a few miles ahead. They had shared interests and values, which created a strong foundation for their relationship. Trust issues can be a significant hurdle in any relationship, often stemming from past experiences. The weather was very hot, and the sun's heat was intense. Natalie began to sweat and feel extremely thirsty. He started calling her through a microphone, but he didn't hear any answer back from her. During the period of Natalie's disappearance, Dr. Roy was receiving calls from Natalie's friend Lily, who was in love with him. Despite the stressful circumstances, he found solace in these unexpected calls. Lily, a nurse at the same hospital where Dr. Roy worked, expressed her concern for him and revealed feelings she had kept hidden. Her warmth and care provided Dr. Roy with a much-needed distraction and a glimmer of comfort amidst the uncertainty surrounding Natalie's absence. He began to realize that perhaps his connection with Lily was deeper than he had ever acknowledged. Suddenly the weather had changed, and the winds started to blow heavily, which turned so cold. The sky was full of grey clouds which reflected a difficult, blurry vision, so that they had to return to the camp immediately. While they were searching for Natalie and discussing her situation, someone was informing them about many disasters had occurred in that area since long time ago. Dr. Roy was so worried about that unexpected ending of Natalie, and he got to decide what to do after then. Suddenly, his mobile was receiving a voicemail from Lily, who was Natalie's friend at the university. "Where did you disappear? Are you okay? I was looking for drinking water as I was very thirsty, and at the end of my way, I found a man who gave me 2 bottles of water to drink, and then he suddenly disappeared out of blue." I thought that you might be thirsty too. I brought you a bottle of water to drink." "Thank you, darling, kind of you." Natalie was surprised why they all were looking for her, as she had been disappeared for a long time. "Oh my God, I was very close. It is about 1 hour walking distance maximum." "What are you saying? You've been missing for 3 days, honey. We were all looking for you beside the rescue team, as you see. They all are around the place with their rescue equipment." I wondered why. Dr. Roy wondered what Natalie said, that she wasn't comprehend what had happened. She said that she was very sleepy, and she was taking a nap inside a small empty tent she found on the other side of the place. I slept around 20 minutes approximately. I did not go away. It was just a few steps walking in a short distance ahead. "You slept over 2 days, honey. How come?" Natalie didn't want to leave that place until finding her biological parents. She wanted to get in touch with them to know the truth and to figure it out why they kept the truth away from her. Suddenly, I woke up in my room back in California, my heart pounding as I tried to make sense of my surroundings. I glanced around, disoriented, and then a wave of realization hit me. I had been in a coma at the hospital for 1 year. As I pieced together the fragments of my past year, my eyes welled up with tears. To my shock and dismay, I discovered that my boyfriend had married my friend. I wanted to visit my parents first to ask them about my biological parents. I noticed that my real name was Zina, as it was written on that piece of paper. Unexpectedly, the weather suddenly changed to a rainy, windy, and sandstorm. I called my parents to let them know that I was on my way toward their house. The views appeared different to me, and the house was not there. The almond tree looked very happy to get a soft touch by me. There was a big new building appeared, instead of the house I was living in. Dr. Roy gave me a tranquilizer pills that I might need some relaxation. I woke up early morning. I opened my eyes, looking around the place. "Hi, Dr. Roy, where are you now?"
Welcome back, Natalie. It was a long trip. You were asleep for 1 year. You were passing in coma.
"What do you mean, and where were you at that time?" "Thank you. I need to talk to you in person for some details that I don't remember what had happened to me.